Okay, I want to show you the new website that we have been building. We've been working on this really for more than 2 months, maybe longer than 3 months, and it's not finished yet, but I am at a stage where I want to show you the process of what it takes to build a website and why I chose to build this website. Sadly, I can't show you the new customer relationship management program yet, but I just want to show you why it's different from this site right here. And look at how slow it takes to load, right? You see, you have that. I wanted to show that video at the top, which shows me teaching inside of jails and prisons and shows me interacting with different people who are serving time in jails and prisons. And I wanted people to see the relationship I'm developing with people and how we teach and inspire people. I thought that would be a good visual, but it takes so long to load that it's just a very ineffective approach, because if somebody's looking for this information on a cell phone or on a tablet or in an area where there's not fast internet speed, it's just not effective. So even though I like the visual and I think it might be engaging for some people, it is not an effective tool for me to have on the website. And then this is kind of an old school lead capture form where people can get a free book. They can put their name, their email, and their phone number, and then download it. And then theoretically, I am able to continue building a relationship with those people through email systems. So this is the old site. You see that I had my podcast on there. Again, a very slow functioning. It's hard to load. It's hard to get to. And although I paid, I don't know, a couple $100 for a license to use this service, I don't find it effective at all. So it's much better not for me, I think, I had to rethink this entire system because I was trying to really build a different kind of a business. And in this business, I want to give away as much free information as I can. You can see that I give away a lot of free information, and I want you to learn the tactics that I use in this strategy. So my strategy, right, the overall strategy, and I talk about this a lot in all of our courses, is to define success. And so success for me is going to help more people understand what a government investigation is. If they may become a witness to an investigation, a target to an investigation, or a subject of an investigation. All of those are very disruptive patterns in somebody's life, and a lot of people don't understand it. So I want to help more people understand how to put policies and procedures in place to avoid ever becoming a witness, a subject, or a target of a government investigation, because it's so costly, both in terms of financial terms and potentially the loss of liberty. And I want to help people understand that process. So that's one way that I'm defining success. The other is if people find themselves a defendant in a criminal case, I want them to start understanding how to prepare for sentencing, another very important subject matter. And then finally, how to prepare for prison to get the most productive experience so they can come back strong with their dignity intact and ready to build a life of meaning and relevance. And so this homepage is very fast. I mean, I can go from one section to another and just go back to the homepage. You can see how quickly it gets there, right? So, and I'm also have very few areas here, but it's very quick. And that's an important thing I want you to be considering if you're in a jail or a prison, or you are trying to connect with more people. You have to realize that the vast majority of people get their content from a device like this, a cell phone. And they may be on Wi-Fi, they may be someplace else. And if I'm going to spend money on running an ad, right? If I'm going to spend money on something like Google, let's say I go to Google and I want to type in their electric bikes. Okay, I want to be in the electric bike business. There's going to be some ads there at the top, right? There are some ads. If somebody's going to click on that ad, I want them to go to a very fast website. I don't want them to go to a site like my old site, which would take a long time to load. And say I just reloaded it. You see the video, look how long it takes. Well, people aren't going to hang around for that. But if I drive them to this page, right, and they're coming here for the first time, boom, they get there really fast. That's a very important subject matter if you're going to build a website that you're going to try to spend money to drive traffic to. And so through these lessons, I kind of just want you to understand the theory of what I'm doing, and you can watch the evolution of this site as I build this site. Now, another function that I have here at the top of the site is this is a section here that is called the hero place. And you see I have an image still of me teaching inside of a prison. Hopefully that helps you understand. I help people who are in trouble, and I help them get a better outcome, right? That's the title of the headline: get better outcomes in government investigation, in sentencing, or in prison. And notice that there's one call to action. Now, right now, this is called a call to action, CTA. And right now, I have a very simple brochure. I would like to change this. I am changing this so that you will have to add your email here before you get this. But right now, you see how fast that comes. So you can click that from anywhere, and you get this brochure. And this brochure will tell you if you're facing challenges with the criminal justice system, our team offers resources to help, right? It's very clear what we do. And it's never too early, it's never too late to start. So you can scroll down here and get this kind of information that's helping you understand what you can do. Notice that the colors are the same. I've got my information on how to contact me anywhere, right? And these are links as well. These should be links. They're not links right now. Oh, the website's not a link because I have to reload this because the website wasn't built. So these will be links. Like if I click this button right here, notice that I will go right to my YouTube channel. And notice when I hit my YouTube channel, I want to stop that conversation. You notice that before I quickly asked people if they wanted to subscribe. And this is where I give away a tremendous amount of free content. In fact, you may be watching this video on YouTube. And if you are, I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. But here, we produce content just about every day to teach people how to make better decisions. So again, back to the brochure. That's one of the features of the brochure is that I can direct people where I want them to go. That will be a link directly to the website. This will be a link to subscribe to our newsletter. And the newsletter will be basically a PDF where I'm showing you, hey, this is the content that we produced this week. And we're trying to produce content every week that satisfies one of these three different things: government investigations, sentencing, or prison. And that's all free, of course. Our YouTube is free, our newsletter is free, our website is free, and this is how you can send an email directly to me, right? If I click that button right there, an email pops up like this, okay? And on my email, you will notice that I have it branded there with my personal website, my prison professor's website, my Prison Professors podcast, my YouTube channel, my LinkedIn page. All of these are tools that people can use to send me an information. You see that goes to team at Prison Professors. If I send a test right there, test email, right? Test email, notice that immediately the email is going to come to me, and I can then see the email just came to me right here. There it is, test email. This is my email sequence right here, and it just popped in there. So these are tools for me to build my business. I make it really easy for consumers to find me. I just kind of want to go through every area. If you click this, that always takes you home. If I go to the Start Here page very fast, it tells you what we're about. And this is not finished yet because I don't have this form built in there where I'm asking them for their name or their email. But I let people know right away what they're going to get if they sign up. If they sign up, they are going to get this information right here. They're going to get they can schedule an appointment to speak with us, but we let them know they're going to get an email on day 1 that's going to tell them about our channel and what we do. Day 2, I'm going to send them an email about our podcast. Day 3, they're going to get an email automatically that helps them understand how we help people. Day 4, I'm going to give them an email that talks about our different books. Day 5, they're going to get information on our consulting packages and what we do. Day 6, they're going to get information on how we work to teach and inspire people in jails and prisons. And day 7, we're going to give more information about the ancillary consequences of mass incarceration, what people need to know. Then if they scroll down further, you see this is a rather comprehensive page telling people the different areas where we try to bring information that are going to help them in different areas. And then I give them a little bit of history. Why should I learn from you? So I tell them the story of my arrest, bad decisions that I made after my arrest, the lessons that I learned, the sentence imposed, the adjustment, the accomplishments, the release, my supervision, the business that I've built, my investment career, civil litigation, how I lost $3 million on a bad deal, my advocacy work. And notice here at the bottom of every page, you will see that I also give them the prison professor story. So if you click that, they go to this area where they can kind of see the trajectory all the way back. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see me here with my friends here. That's my friend Rich Folk. He's my business partner, but we grew up together. And that's us in high school. He leads a really successful business right now. He's also a business partner of mine. Then you grow up and you say, well, I made some pretty bad decisions after high school, clearly, and went to prison. And this talks about my first 5 years in prison. This talks about my 5 to 10 years in prison. Now I got my degrees and so on. This talks about my 10 to 15 years where I made $1 million while I was inside of prison. This talks about my 15th to 20th year where I got married in prison. And then here I start talking about my publishing career, my 20th to 25th year, talk about getting out of prison, year 1 of liberty, year 2 of liberty, year 3 of liberty. And so what I'm giving the consumer is this like visual of what it's like to come back to society after serving 26 years in prison. And I document the whole story. Okay, so that's in the Start Here page. The Testimonial Page is a similar type of program where people can review, my progress and what has the media, right? This is about media, keynotes, and testimonials. So you can just click on these and actually see the work that I do. And you can click on any of this information. And if you want to see the keynote, you can actually click it and see the video. And watch me delivering a keynote, which is really helpful for me if I'm building a business around corporate training, government investigations, whatever. I want people to see that I have authority. So like you click on that, you're going to actually see my introduction.
10 speaker is Michael Santos. He spent 26 years incarcerated.
Actually, I don't think you're recording, so you can't hear that. But you get the picture. The people will be able to see and experience in real time. You can't fake this information, right? That's real stuff, right? You'll see me coming on the stage. You'll see me opening a presentation. You'll see me speaking into an audience of more than 2,000 Silicon Valley executives. And then you go around. So that's important stuff. Then I can go here to the store. And in the store, you'll notice that I have all of our products, right? So they can buy our sentencing preparation course, our mitigation guidance courses, our character reference courses, our advocacy workshops, our consulting program. Well, how does that work, right? So you notice it's $400. It's not an inexpensive value proposition, but it's really because I don't have time to talk to everybody who reaches out to me. I give away a lot of free information. And so I've created tools that help them understand, hey, take advantage of our free information or our low-cost information, like a $25 book where you can learn these strategies. And these are all books and courses that I created to help people reach their highest potential, right? That's in our store. And this will continue to grow and develop. And then we've got our services. Well, our services include a mitigation strategy. So notice here that this tells you what a mitigation strategy is all about. It recommends you, these 3 different subjects that I think would be very good tools for you. They're low cost, $297 for probably something that took me 200 hours to develop. So effectively, I'm making like $1 an hour for all this stuff, right? Sentence mitigation, the same thing, character reference courses. But this is a digital business, right? So this digital business, I want people to be able to buy it. If they click it, they can learn a little bit more. They can watch me give a presentation on it. They can watch some credentials of me interviewing federal judges. They can place the order. If they say, oh, I really like this is really good, I can learn all about it without me having to talk to somebody. And if I choose to make the move and purchase it, I just go right here. I enter the credit card information, and I know exactly what I'm going to get. Okay. And as soon as I enter the credit card information, I would get the course delivered to me. That is the value of having this type of a product here, where I have the store, but I have these different services. So what are these services? Well, mitigation is really the service of helping people make better decisions at any stage in the journey, okay, to get the outcome that they want. Prison preparation, the same thing, except people don't understand what it's like to live in prison. Sometimes people have asked me, why do you need to have so many different books about prison? And I can give you an answer for that. If you were going to travel to South America, for example, do you read one book on South America to help inform you before you go on your travels? No, there are many different countries on the continent of South America, and every one of those countries has different explanations. And with every one of those different explanations, there are a variety of other information that you may want to know. You may want to know about the food. You may want to know about the climate. You may want to know about business opportunities. You may want to know about the political situation. You may want to know about the economic situation. I mean, there's the more, this is prison professors. We are like, we model this after a university. We want to provide as much content as possible, which is why I provide so much information. So mitigation is very specific to getting you an outcome. Prison preparation is understanding, how do I get the best possible personal result, and what are the lessons that I should learn? And that should come from somebody who doesn't just talk about it, that has a minimal experience, but somebody who's actually done it, somebody who's actually gone through a prison of every security level and succeeded at every level. And it's a well-documented path. So I will try to show that. That was one of the reasons that you'll see at the bottom of the site this story here. Learn more about the story, right? So that you could actually go through like what happened in year one. Right? How did the decisions in year one lead to the accomplishments in year 5 through 10? And how did those relate to making $1 million in jail or prison in years 10 through 15? And how did that relate to me getting married and be able to support my wife? And how did that relate to building a publishing career? How did that relate to getting out of prison and putting together assets of millions of dollars immediately, even though I started with a 000 credit score, and doing business deals with prisons and buying real estate and building businesses and getting my first Tesla, and I guess it's my only Tesla. So this car that I really wanted to buy, and then losing $3 million, $5 million in assets, which wasn't a good experience, but it was an experience, and I want to document it. And then recovering from that and getting back on track, and putting together millions of dollars of assets again right away. And all of that is related to this story, right? So I show this story. I'm 100% transparent. And I want my viewers to see it, right? I don't want to pretend. You should be able to look through here and see the work that I did, look at everything, including things like, the cashier's check that I built, that I created to buy my product. I want to show every single aspect of my life and what I have done and what I've learned from this and what you can learn from this. And that is an important part of the journey. And so all of the story, that's what it shows. And then, reputation management, like I show here. How do you build a reputation even if you've made really bad decisions? This is an important product that I offer, but I want people to understand how to do it. Like I'll show the history of this first book that I wrote when I was, 1990. I went to prison. I was arrested in 1987. I didn't get to prison until 1988. So within 2 years, I was already starting to create this process. And I give the links so that you can see, right? I'm very transparent in this. I want you to see what happened and how I did it. So you can click there and you can see the books. You can see the image of it. You can scroll down. You can see my other books, what people have said about them, when they were published, right? I show everything because I want you to say, if you want to change your reputation, it's all about transparency. It's all about showing people how to grow. And these were the books that I published with traditional publishing houses. This is St. Martin's Press, one of the largest publishers in the world. And this is when the first book came out, Inside Life Behind Bars in America. That was my third or fourth book. And then I started publishing on my own. But all of this really reflects how people see me online, right? I can open a Google right here. And if you go to Google, I should actually open an incognito window. An incognito window really hides my browsing. And if I plug my name in, like anybody is going to do, Michael Santos, what comes up? Okay, I can show you what comes up. My Wikipedia page, okay, my Huffington Post page, or one of my websites. All of this stuff I controlled, right? I control my reputation on Google, nobody else. But to do that, it requires a tremendous amount of effort and work and planning and architecture. But this is the way that I control my work, and it's the way that I generate the story and how I build more businesses and so on, because this is what people see. And so there's videos, right? If you look at all these videos, you will see a tremendous amount of content. But everything is what I control. So if you want to control your reputation, you've got to be thinking about, these different aspects of how you're going to do it. And so I walk you through that right here. And you can scroll down here, see the entire journey. It's all very transparent. And then it tells you, well, what should you do, right? These are some of my newest books, but this is from my own publishing company. And then I tell you, well, how do I go about writing a book? What's the process? And so you can get all of that information right here in these different steps and what it will do. And then, as I continue to develop the story, people will learn more. Advocacy work. This is an interesting new concept that I've just created, and it's a monthly subscription. People will pay $45 a month. I chose that just because I had a 45-year sentence, so that's why I chose 45 years. And you pay that a month, and you get to ask your personal questions. If you're going through the challenges, you may have questions. How do I deal with it, regardless of what stage I'm in, right? I may not be in prison, but I may be doing some things that could potentially lead me into the crosshairs of challenges. Well, I want to tell you what I've learned, and I don't care whether it's a DWI that you're struggling from, or you're facing a charge for a penitentiary level offense, right? There's always something that you should be thinking about. There's always something that you should be doing. I show the story here of my journey through prison. So like you could kind of walk this through, and this is validating. This is showing you my prison experience is not a drawback for me. It's actually a strength. It's some level of experience that I can give you, and it kind of shows you this journey. If you click on this, I'm going to scroll down that thing there, but you'll see me. I'm just walking you through how the journey went, right? So I'm showing you there where I'm going through, and you can see those are my travels, right? Started off arrested in Miami, and I'm talking about where I went to El Reno, then go to Phoenix, then go to Seattle, then come back, right? And so the viewer gets this view of what this 26-year journey looks like. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the story of Odysseus. By Homer's book, The Odyssey, and he talks about his story of a 10-year journey being away from his family. Well, this is a 26-year journey, and I'm showing you everything that I learned on that process, and all of that is what can help you if you're going through this advocacy workshop. You're going to learn, well, how do I make better decisions? And then I'm interviewing people with whom I have worked that are offering testimonials and telling how the guidance helped them get better outcomes in their life. So all of this is for $45 a month, and it's very valuable to somebody who may have a loved one in prison or something. That's a business model, right? So that's an advocacy. That's a service I offer. Investigations is a new service, right? It talks about if I'm running a business and I'm employing somebody, I should know something about government investigations and how easily decisions made in the course of business could potentially lead to wire fraud, mail fraud, securities fraud, tax fraud, bribery offenses, money laundering offenses, antitrust fraud. There's just no limit. But because of my work, I have a depth and breadth of experience that could be helpful to people. And so I, again, will try to build a business around this service. But this is not only me. I'm bringing in, if you have an experience of being through the prison system, or having been troubled by the system, I would encourage you to reach out to us and become a part of our team. And then, of course, there's reentry, and this is the service where I offer content to help prison administrators teach and inspire people in prison. So I'm really enthusiastic about this site. I will continue to make videos on it and show you how I market this site and what next steps are. But one of the key components of this product and this program is to make it really easy for consumers to know exactly what I do. And what you will see really soon is the CRM system that will come with it. I've created a rather detailed workflow system, right? So because it's always important to be transparent. It's really important that consumers, or even avoiding government investigations, is to show people exactly what you're doing and why. That's definitely a lesson I learned after being drug into a lawsuit that cost me $5 million in assets and $3 million in equity, is I learned the real importance of being very transparent and documenting every stage of your journey. So what you'll see here are, let me see the workflows. Yeah, so like if you look at a workflow, what happens? Well, here is the workflow that consumers will see. An offer will come, and as soon as an offer comes, I don't force them to give me a phone number, but they may give me a phone number. If they do, my friend and partner, Sam, is going to give them a call and just talk to them. If they don't, and they only give me an email address, they're going to get an email, and that email is basically going to say, hey, we offer a lot of free content. Visit our YouTube channel, visit our iTunes page. We offer low-cost books and courses, and this is what they do, and this is what they tell you about. And then we offer a refundable hour. And the reason it's a refundable hour is because I get hundreds of thousands of people see the content that I produce for free, and everybody reaches out to me, but I can't answer every call, right? I can't answer every email. It's impossible. Just don't have the time. But I still want to add value. So we've built a team. And so we've built this to scale, right? To handle more people. And so if somebody comes, I want them to realize, yeah, buy it for $400, okay? Because there's nothing, if it's one-on-one stuff, it's never going to be less than $400, but I'll make it refundable. Talk for an hour. If you're serious about wanting to solve your problem, buy us for the hour, and we will create an automated scope of work, right? So you'll immediately get this scope of work that tells you exactly what's going to happen. If you're in agreement with that, you're going to have to say, yes, I agree with that. You're going to make a payment of $400. You're going to have an appointment set. And as soon as you have that appointment set, you're going to go through this process where somebody's going to call you. They're going to tell you it's either 15 hours or it's going to take 25 hours, because most cases for this type of work, that's what we're talking about. Then you'll get a very specific scope of work based on what we learned about you during that first hour. You'll make the payment. The next step will be an interview, the mitigation notes in the process. Our team will review the strategy. We'll go over it with the client. The client will approve, yes, this is what I want to do. They sign off on the plan. So there's this buy-in at various milestone stages. Okay, then we're going to write the draft of what we decided we're going to write and create. Our team is going to review it. The client is going to review the first draft. The client's either going to approve, or we will revise it until the client approves, sign off on the plan. That will follow with some coaching, a plan. Again, what are we going to go through in the coaching? The client's going to review. Yes, that's the plan that's going to help me. Client approves, review until the client approves, sign off on the plan. That is a strategy that's fully documented. And notice that I've always got this client signs off on the plan. All of that goes into a file that becomes tracked in our customer relationship management program. That is how I will teach, is showing people how do you create these processes that document your pathway to success, just as I have done down here, that you can check if you learn the story, right? You will see that's what I've done. I've documented my life. I began documenting that life while I was in prison. It made all the difference in the world. It allowed me to get married, earn an income, have income opportunities when I came home, build a life. That's what I show other people how to do, how to get best possible outcomes. And I don't ask anybody to do anything that I didn't do and that I'm not still doing right now. That's what I'm super enthusiastic about launching this site. And I'm also super enthusiastic about it because I only really, anybody that I employ are all formerly incarcerated people. Whether that's Casper Tobias, who you can look at by, you'll see me interviewing here on my YouTube channel. Notice how when they do the YouTube channel, I've got it programmed so that this comes up and somebody is confirming their subscription. So I'm inviting them to subscribe. But you'll notice here, then there's this trailer video for people who are here for the first time. But then I'll interview these people, right? Like this is an interview with Casper, a guy who served time in prison but transformed his life, and now he's got a professional videography career, which is super inspiring because people in prison should learn, well, what can I be doing to have that same level of outcome? Or I'm profiling letters that I receive from people in prison, showing how these letters transform their life. Or I'm showing alternative investments I make, like these watches that I buy right now, as investments, and why that is a strategy that I am pursuing at this particular time in our economy, when we've got a pandemic going on, when we've got a lot of people unemployed, when you've got political political decisiveness across the country. I teach people how to succeed regardless of what's going on in your life, and that's one of the strategies that I use. So in any event, I'm really enthusiastic about the new Prison Professor site. I look forward to sharing with you the continuing development of this product. I do hope that you will support our work by subscribing to our YouTube channel if you're watching this at home, and passing it along. I think if you ring the bell, you get notified every time I publish a new video. One of the new tools that I got is right here, a new Canon 90D. I actually have two of these so that I can produce higher quality videos, but I haven't fully mastered how to use it yet. I need to create that so that I could begin showing, this book, which is a book that I highly recommend if you've got a loved one in prison, the Earning Freedom 2021 Journal, which I've been developing, and it's got a daily self-directed lesson. But I want to create these videos on how I would respond to these questions to try and teach and inspire more people in prison. I've also got some really exciting news about a relationship I'm expanding with the Bureau of Prisons. In fact, I will be going to Washington, D.C. in November to meet with all of the directors of the Bureau of Prisons to talk about the Prison Professors Program and to get this program into every federal prison in America, because I think it's important. We, as formerly incarcerated people, have a responsibility to teach and inspire people. We're already in the California Department of Corrections, and I just want to show people, hey, this is how I build my businesses. This is what you should be thinking about while you're in prison so that you can transition into life successfully. If that's something that you want to get behind and support, visit us at prisonprofessors.com. I am easy to reach really through this email system, I guess it's here. There's our address. But I want you to know it's hard for me to respond to everybody, which is why I recommend you use the email system or you use the systems that we have in place, because then somebody on my team who is either formerly incarcerated or the wife of a formerly incarcerated person, which of course is my wife, Carol, who I have to thank for helping me with all of this work. So that's what I'm sharing with you today, and I hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch the continuing development of the Prison Professor story. Thank you.